Hi children viewers, in previous video I explained about the Newton's first law of motion. In that we learned about the definition of force and definition of inertia and types of inertia. I gave examples for inertia of rest in that one. So children, in this video I am going to explain about the examples of inertia of motion and inertia of direction along with Newton's second law of motion. Children, up to now you didn't subscribe my channel, then subscribe for latest updates and notifications. Don't forget to subscribe my channel children. So now I am going to the topic now. So already I explained what's that. Inertia is in three types, classified into three types: inertia of rest and inertia of motion and inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. So here, what is inertia? The tendency of the body, it wants to continue its state. That is called inertia. The tendency of the body to continue its states. That means the body which is in rest, that should be want to in rest, and the body which is in motion, that should be in state of motion. That is what we call inertia. And inertia of rest. What is inertia of rest? The opposition shown by the body to change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. So I uploaded one video for example for inertia of rest. Then go and watch it once after watching this one. And after that, here now inertia of motion. Inertia of motion. Inertia of motion. The tendency of the body that wants to be in state of its motion, that should be in inertia. Clear? The body which is in state is what? Inertia of motion means what? The body is already in motion. Then that wants to same state of motion. That is what we call inertia of motion. That means the opposition shown by the body to change its state of motion, that should be called here inertia of motion. For example, when the vehicle is going on, we applied some distance, brakes. We applied some brakes. When the body is in motion, a vehicle is in motion, we applied some brakes. Even though you are riding the bicycle or you are riding a vehicle, two-wheeler, when you applied some brakes, then what you observed? Initially the body is in motion, that should be in motion. When we applied some brakes, that should be not suddenly coming into the rest. Even though you applied some brakes, that should be go some distance, that should be again after that only that should be coming into the rest. Got my point? The vehicle is in motion, we applied some brakes, that should be stopped after moving some distance. Why? Because even though we are applying the force, friction also apply the force, but the body is suddenly not coming into the rest. After moving some distance only, that should be coming into the rest. Why? Because already the body is in motion, the vehicle is in motion. Even though we applied some brakes, that should be wants to continue its a state of motion. That should be what we call example for inertia of motion. For example, you are standing at this point and your friend he was coming by running from long distance, and he was running and that fellow is crossing you. Then suddenly you can try to hold the hand of the boy and you was try to pull it. The boy is coming from long distance. The boy is coming long distance. One boy is coming from long distance, and one boy is at my position. So he was continuously running, and you don't want to stop here at this point, and he was simply going, but you want to stop him by pulling the person backward. So you try to hold the hand and you was pull the in this direction. Then what do you say? The person obviously he will take his hands like this. You are pulling in this side, and the person is taking his hand away from you in opposite direction. That means what? He wants to continue same state of motion. And now we have another example, best example in textbook. It is only there. While we are sitting in the bus, the bus is already in motion. The bus is already in motion. Clear? When he was applies these sudden brakes, what is our condition? What is our condition? When the bus is in motion, we are also in motion. Clear? When the driver applies the brakes, we may get forward jerk. I think most of you experience this one. While the bus is in motion, we are simply sitting in the seats and we don't know. Suddenly the driver is applying the brakes. Then the persons who are in the bus, while they are standing and while they are sitting, they may get forward jerk, fall into the front seats. Why? Because that is because of inertia of motion. When the bus is in motion, our body also have moving in the same velocity. Once the bus is coming into the rest, the body don't want to come to the rest again, because it wants to continue its state of motion. That's why we may get forward jerk. Clear, children? This is another best example. Clear? So this is simply about the inertia of motion, the tendency of the body to continue its state of motion. That should be what we call inertia of motion. We can define like this also. What's that? Here the opposition shown by the body to change its state of motion. The opposition shown by the body to change state of motion is called inertia of motion. So the examples what I explained, that will clearly explain about the inertia of motion. And next thing is what you have, inertia of direction. What's that? Inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. Here same definition. What's that? The tendency of the body to continue its state of direction is called inertia of direction. Here symbol, in case of bike races, you may observe. So the road should be like curved path. We will observe during the bike races. Here, when the road is taking right turn, vehicle is there, some right side turning will be there. The right side curved path is there. While the vehicle is moving to the right side, the driver should be takes left turn. To balance the bike, they must be shifted to the opposite side. When the road is to the curved road, that is like turning curved road like this. Here, the bike is coming turn this side, the driver should be shifted to bend that side to balance that. So here, that is what we call Inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. Because up to now he is in one particular direction. Once the road is taking the right side, he don't want to change his direction. That's why he was shifted to the left side. Due to that only the vehicle is balanced. After moving some time, there is some left turn. Left turn. When the vehicle is taking the left turn, the driver should be takes the right side shift. Then only it is balanced, because he wants to, it is in his same direction. And another one more example is there. Same bus example. The bus is moving on a ghat road. Ghat road means generally like Tirupati Ghat road, Sri Sailam Ghat road. The roads onto some cliffs. Then the ghat road means that should be already rotated in some height, and there are so many turnings. There are so many turnings. Clear? Just observe now. We are in the bus. The bus is on ghat road. Clear? On that ghat road, the bus is taking to the ghat road means what it is? The road is that must be more height from the general road. From the ground, we are at some heights. Clear? That is the ghat road. While we are moving along the ghat road, at particular position, the bus want to take right turn. Bus want to take right turn. Just imagine, the bus is taking the right turn, and all the passengers also move to the right side. Bus is taking the right side, and all the passengers also take right side. What will be happen? Then obviously the bus will be fall down from certain height. That's why when the bus takes the right direction, the passengers may take shifted towards left side. If the bus goes to the left side, the passengers will go to the next side. If the bus is left, the passengers are right. If the passengers takes the opposite direction, then only that should be balanced. And if the bus takes the right, passengers left. If the bus takes the left, passengers right. So that is the best example for inertia of direction. Clear, children? So this is about the inertia. The inertia should be explained with the help of the Newton's first law of motion. That should be clearly explained in the previous video. If you want more information about the inertia of rest and inertia of examples, so then go to the previous video. Once watch the video, and you will automatically understand what is inertia of rest. So now we are going to the continuation topic. What is that? Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Here, children, very important topic. Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Here, what is meant by Newton's second law of motion? To know, before going to that, you must know about the two things. Here, what is the relation between force and acceleration? Relation between force and acceleration, and mass and acceleration. Mass and acceleration. Mass and acceleration. And next thing is, you must know about the momentum. What is momentum? To understand the Newton's second law of motion, you must know idea about the relation between force and acceleration, mass and acceleration, and momentum. Clear? What is force and what is acceleration? You know that. Force is what? The physical quantity which can changes or tries to change the position of the object is called force. And acceleration means what? Rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity. Clear? Children, very simple example I am giving. Here we are taking the same blocks. That means here I am taking a block of 5 kg and another block of same 5 kg. So 5 kg and 5 kg we are taken. Clear? We are taking some floor. I am taking now this object is A and this object is B. Clear? Here we are having two objects. Their masses are what it is? How they are? Equal mass. Clear? After that, first we are taken A. On that body I applied some force 10 newtons. What's that? 10 newtons. And now this is the second one. Same floor. Now I am applying some force 30 newtons. Clear? In which case the body will be displaced more distance will be displaced. First case or second case? Very simple example. You are taking two stones, same stones. Here this is the first stone and this is the second stone. Clear? When I am throwing the first one, I applied more force. For the second time, same object I am thrown with the less force. I mean the applied force is less. So as usually what we know, in which case we are applying more force, thus we will go for more distance with maximum speed. Velocity is more. When we applied force is less, displacement is also less, then velocity also, speed also less. That means in this example also, the body A will go for less displacement or less distance and velocity also less. And 30 newtons when we applied, that will go for more distance with more velocity. Clear? Already we know that. What is the expression for acceleration? Change in velocity by time. Clear? So here now, in this case, what you observe here, what I am telling, velocity is less, here velocity is more. And in this case, what we say, A is proportional to change in velocity. Acceleration is directly proportional to velocity. X is proportional to y. I am writing like this. X is proportional to y. Proportionality means what? If we can raise the x, y also raises. If we can decrease the x, y also decreases. Like that, what you have to say, in this case, acceleration is directly proportional to the change in velocity. So for example here, initially it is at rest. Clear? Initially both are at rest. That's why for these cases I am taking u is equals to 0. After applying 10 newtons, its velocity becomes some 25 meter per second. Due to applying force of 10 newtons. So now here this is the final velocity here. Then change in velocity means what? 25 minus 0. 25 meter per second. This is the change in velocity of first body A. Now for the second time, it is also, the block is initially at rest. After that we are applying some force of 30 newtons. That's why now you can say that should be having some velocity is 45 meter per second. Due to the applying force, the body will gain the velocity. How much it is that? 45 meter per second. So here now, changing velocity what, right? V minus u. Here V is what? 45. U is what? 0. Then what do you get? 45 meter per second. Then what you have to say? The change in velocity is more for second body. What I am telling? The change in velocity is directly proportional to acceleration, or acceleration is directly proportional to the change in velocity. When change in velocity is more, acceleration also more. In the second case, the change in velocity is more compared to the previous one. That's why the second body will have more acceleration. That means what? When the masses are equal, but we applied some different type of forces, unequal forces applied. When unequal forces applied on bodies of equal masses, then the acceleration is directly proportional to the force. Then the force applied on the body is directly proportional to its acceleration, or A is proportional to F. If you can increase the force, acceleration also increases. From that, what you have to say? F is proportional to A. F is proportional to A. If you can increase the force, acceleration also increases. So this is about the one activity. From this activity, what you learn? If action of force increases, acceleration also increases. That should be directly proportional. Clear? This is the first thing you have to learn. And next thing is you have to learn, that is, what is the relationship between mass and acceleration? Mass and acceleration. Clear? We are having two persons. Person A has mass some 80 kgs, and next person has mass, he was having some 120 kgs. 120 kgs. And next we will take one more person having some 60 kg. A 60, B 80, and C is 120. We have three persons of same age, but their weights are different. 60, 80 and 120 kgs. In these three people, which person can move very easily with more velocity or more acceleration? More acceleration. Obviously, 60 kg person has more acceleration compared to the remaining 120 kg, because mass is more. In our textbook, one activity it is there. So that is, here one horizontal table is there. On that, we have to keep some two objects of unequal masses. Two objects with unequal masses. Now here one is 20 kg and one is 10 kg. 10 kg. We are taken unequal masses. Both should be placed on a table. And after that, we have to take one long scale, or long stick. So with the same stick, we have to move at a time. Clear? 20 kg object is there, A, and B is 10 kg, having some 10 kg mass. They should be on the one table. Clear? This is A and this is B. Clear? After that, we have to move the both blocks with one stick, which is having some long stick. For example, if it is the long stick, we have to move the like this. Clear? That means we are pushing the both objects at a time. We are pushing the both objects at a time. Then tell me now, which object will go more fast with more acceleration? This will go for more distance with more acceleration. Acceleration is more for this one. Same example. When mass is more, acceleration is less. Acceleration less means what? Mass is more. When mass is high, acceleration is less. When condition is there, when the applied force is applied force is same. When two bodies which are having unequal masses and we applied same force on two objects, then the body which is having lesser mass, that should be moving with more acceleration, and the body which is having more mass, that should be moving with lesser acceleration. That means acceleration and mass both are inversely proportional. Clear? So that means if you can raise the mass, acceleration is decrease. If you can decrease the mass, acceleration is decrease. So mass and acceleration both are inversely proportional. Clear? And you may ask now, I am asking one question now, then you have to think yourself. According to this, the body which has less mass, that should be having more acceleration. While we are taking the car and auto, comparing the car and auto, in these two, which one is having more fast or more acceleration? Car only. Then how we can justify this comment? Yes. What's that? When the condition is there, when we applied same force on the two objects of unequal masses, then only the body which has lesser mass, that should be having more acceleration. But in this case, car is having more mass, that only having more acceleration. Why? Means the applied force is more on car, it is more. On auto, less force is there. That's why here the condition is applicable. What's that? When we applied two objects on two objects, same force, then only this condition is satisfied. Clear, children? So this is another thing is what? Relation between mass and acceleration. From previous one, what we say, force and acceleration is that, what is that? Both are in directly proportional. If you can raise the force, acceleration also increases. And mass and acceleration. In this case, what I have to say? Force and acceleration. That is here, in this case, mass is constant. When force and acceleration is directly proportional, means only when mass is constant. That means here we are taking the mass is constant. In this case, mass and acceleration both are inversely proportional when same force. That means force is constant. Got, children? In your textbook, two activities are there. After watching this video, just go for some activities are there regarding these two topics. You may understand very clearly after watching this video. Next thing is momentum. What is momentum? Here, momentum, P is equals to M into V. Momentum, the product of mass and velocity. The product of mass and velocity is called momentum of the body. Clear? So here the body which has mass and there should be experiencing some velocity, then product of these two what we call momentum. If any body has momentum means what? That must be having some mass and velocity. Product of mass and velocity is called momentum. Clear? So here momentum units is what? For mass what you have? kg. For velocity what you have? Meter per second. So units of momentum is what? kg meter per second. Clear? So momentum depend upon two factors, one is mass and one is velocity. Clear? So if you can slap anyone, they will get some pain because of momentum only, because mass is, for your hand mass is there and you are beating the person. Beating means what? You are moving the hand, that means we can move with some velocity, then the momentum is imparted. Simple. Here I will give two examples here now. For momentum, what is momentum for that? Here P is momentum, that is mv. To explain that, here there are two cars. Clear? Watch carefully, there are two cars, A and B. Clear? So now we are taken two stones. One boy is carrying one stone of mass, some 500 grams, and another also same 500 grams. Clear? There are two cars, just very near to the car, two boys are standing there, both are carrying the mass of how much? 500 grams. Clear? So here the first boy, and this fellow is second boy. I am saying B, this also B, person B, A and B. He was throwing the stone onto the car with speed of 80 meter per second, and this should be here 120 meter per second. Clear? Both boys are having same mass in their hands and they are throwing stones onto the cars. Just imagine, don't do this one, just imagine. Then which stone can cause for more damage of car? First stone is moving at speed of 80 meter per second, 80 meter per second, and next one is moving at some 120 meter per second. Clear? What's the reason there? Velocity is more for second one, that's why that should be cause for more damage of car. Why the car is going to get damage? Because of mass. That stone has some mass and that stone has some velocity. Then even though both are having same mass, then what you have to say? The second stone will get cause for more damage. That means here in this example what I am saying, both are having 500 grams mass, that is mass is constant. Mass is constant. Then what you have to say? Even though having mass, the stone which has more velocity, that should be going for more, cause for more damage. In this case, mass is constant, velocity is different. Velocity is different. Clear? Next, don't confuse. Second example. Here there are buildings are there here. Buildings are there. On that, from the top of the building, one boy is throwing down some mass of 10 kg and this one is dropping mass of 20 kg onto the same cars. Just imagine, two cars are there, beside that some buildings are there, two boys are standing on the both buildings and they are dropping mass to be like that, 10 kg and 20 kg. 10 kg onto the first car and 20 kg onto the second car. Again, in this case the velocity is same. Velocity is, assume that velocity is same. Then obviously what do you say? 20 kg mass will be going to be cause for more damage. That's why from these examples what you have to say, the momentum should be dependent upon the mass and velocities. Clear children? Now we are going to the statement of Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion can be stated as F is proportional to dP by dt. F is proportional to dP by dt. So F is proportional to dP by dt. So F means what? Force. Force acting on the body or force applied on the body. Force applied on the body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. What is that? Rate of change of momentum. Clear? The external force acting on the body is directly proportional to the rate of change of. Rate of change of means what? Rate means we are comparing the change of the quantity with respect of time. I already told you d by dt of v. Just imagine, I am writing d by dt. D by dt means what? Rate of change of. What is that? Rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity what we call? Acceleration. That means rate of change of means we are comparing the properties of the quantity with respect of time, that is rate of. Clear? So here now the external force acting on the body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. What's that? Rate of change of momentum. That is what we call Newton's second law of motion. The external force acting on the body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. That means what here? What is meant by momentum? P is equals to mv. P is equals to mv. Clear? When external force increases, momentum also increases. That is meant here. Newton's second law of motion is what? When external force acting on the body increases, then momentum also increases. That is what we call rate of change of momentum is depend upon what? Applied force. That is the Newton's second law of motion. I will give one example. After that, you automatically can understand that. Here there is one block, and here also there is one block. Clear? On that blocks, here I am taking that again same examples, 5 kg and 10 kg blocks are there. Clear? 5 kg and 10 kg is there. Here what I have to say? Mass is different. Mass is different. And we applied some force here, 10 newtons here, 30 newtons here, 30 newtons. Due to that, the body is moving with velocity here some 20 meter per second. Here now it is moving with some here 30 meter per second. 30 meter per second. Here mass is different, applied force also different. That's why their velocity is also different. Their velocities are different. And now here, look here. What is momentum? Mass into velocity. Here what is mass? 5 kg. What is velocity? 20 meter per second. Then what do you write? 5 into 20. That is what? 100 kg meter per second. That is the momentum. And now here 10 is there, mass. And it is what? here what it is, 10 into 30, what we get, 10 into 30, what we get, 300 kg meter per second. So that's what you have to say. In this case, mass changes and velocity also changes, then momentum also changes. That is a different one case. Next thing is here, we are taking now, this is the first one. Now second is I am taking a second example. This is the 5 kg and this is the 5 kg. Same masses. Here masses are different. Now I am going to explain. Masses are same. 5 kg and 5 kg. Then on first one we applied some 20 newtons. Here we applied some 50 newtons force. Now force is increased. Then in this case, thus we are moving some here 20 meter per second, and now here this is some 80 meter per second. 80 meter per second. When we force applied, velocity also increases, and here velocity is there. Then what is momentum here? 5 into 20, 100 kg meter per second. Here now 5 into 80 means what? 400 kg meter per second. This is the another example. What's that? In this example, what you have to say? When we applied some 20 newtons on 5 kg, that should be goes with momentum 400 kg meter per second. When we are applying some force of 50 newtons, then what you say? 400. That means the object is same, mass is same. Then what's the difference there? As the amount of force is increases, then momentum also increases. That is what we call Newton's second law of motion. Clear, children? For example, our bike is there. Our bike is there. When the bike is in first gear, the force on engine is less. That's why its momentum is less. Very simple. Do you want to know about the momentum? I am giving one example. When a lorry is stopped at the roadside, just you go and there just can give one punch to the vehicle. Then you may get less pain. When the lorry is coming very fastly, just you go and stand in front of the lorry. Then what do you observe? So when the lorry is collide with you, you must be flies off and must be go there. What's there? What is the difference there? When the vehicle is at rest, the vehicle is applied less force on you. When the vehicle is in motion, that applies more force on you. So for the first time, when you are giving the kick to the vehicle, you may get less injuries. When the moving vehicle will be collide with you, maybe chances to live are dead. That means what here? When force increases, momentum also increases. When your bike is in first gear, the force on the vehicle is less. That's why the momentum also less. When it's increases its speed, when you are changing the brake gears, force increases, its velocity also increases, then its momentum also increases. So children, this is about the Newton's second law of motion. Definition only. We have some derivation for F is equals ma from the same Newton's second law of motion. We will see in the next video for that. So children, what is Newton's second law of motion? In entire class you learn 3 points only. First thing is force and acceleration. If you can increase the force, acceleration also increases. Then what is that here? When the mass is constant, directly proportion between the force and acceleration. And now we have another thing is what? Mass and acceleration. When mass is more, acceleration is less. When mass is less, acceleration is more. That's second thing. And third thing is what? Momentum. Product of mass and velocity, what we call momentum. And finally, what is Newton's second law of motion? The external force the external force acting on the body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. When the amount of applied force is changed, momentum also changes. Got children? So this is about the information about the just Newton's second law of motion. So based on that, we have some applications are there and derivation also there. We will see the Newton's second law and its derivation of F is equals to ma in the next video. So you must wait for that, children. We will meet in the next video with the topic of derivation of F is equals to ma. Children, after watching the video, like and share my video and comment the video. Subscribe to my channel for latest updates. We will meet in the next video. Bye children. Take care.